Acid victim horribly disfigured by thug and mistaken identity attack has baby with the wife who stood by him. A dad who suffered horrific acid burns after being attacked in a case of mistaken identity is celebrating after having a baby boy with the loyal wife who stood by him. Andreas Christopheros, 33, revealed his joy at becoming a father for the second time, 4 years on from the acid attack that almost claimed his life. Lazarus was born in January this year, just 2 days after Andreas had returned from the US for surgery to his eyelids. The birth is a new chapter for the dad and wife Pia, 36, who has stood by her husband's side through the devastating attack in 2014. Andreas was left blind in one eye and with horrific scarring to his face and torso after his attacker knocked on the wrong house and hurled acid in his face, wrongly believing him to be someone else. Speaking to The Sun Online, Andreas said it was only thanks to his family, including his eldest son Theo, that he had survived after being forced to confront the injuries that would scar him for a lifetime. He said, "I love being a dad, and Lazarus is just part of us living a normal life now. It's twice as much work as having one and we live a busy life, but it's just about carrying on life as normal now." The couple, who have been together for 13 years, chose the name Lazarus thanks to Andreas' Greek heritage and their love for the name. But they said it hadn't and #27 been inspired by the biblical story about a man who rises from the dead. They said the few months of becoming parents again has already flown by, with life going back to its usual thrum of playing with the kids, work and messy dinner times. Andreas said his attitude towards work and family had changed since the attack, having previously worked 16-hour days, 7 days a week and often being away from his family. He said, "I realize there's more to life than just making money. I physically can't work in the same capacity as I once did, however, I wouldn't want to. Before the attack I spent very little time with Theo, rightfully or wrongfully. But now, and since the attack I have spent so much time with the boys." He said his survival was particularly thanks to Theo, who was just 2 years old at the time of the attack in 2015 but is soon to turn 5. Andreas said, "If I didn't have my son at the time I probably wouldn't be here. That's the brutal truth." Andreas has turned much of his efforts to spending time with his family, as well as campaigning for stronger sentences for those found guilty of acid attacks. He particularly wants immediate jail time for people found with a substance decanted into a squirter bottle. The recent spate in acid attacks has left him horrified, struggling to watch as others are left with the same injuries that changed his own life. Andreas was at his Cornwall home in December 2014 when acid attacker David Phillips knocked on the door, hoping to take revenge on a man who had sexually assaulted someone close to him. But Phillips got the wrong address, flinging the battery acid on innocent Andreas' face and changing the dad's life forever. Phillips was initially sentenced to life behind bars but could now be given parole after serving 8 years behind bars. The family still lives at the Cornwall home where Andreas was attacked, with the dad saying he was comfortable raising his family there. They do hope to move though, but more to accommodate their growing family rather from the memories of the attack. And while Andreas and Pia have had their struggles like any couple, they have come out stronger than ever. Pia, 36, said, "It put a strain on our relationship, we persisted with it and now we are stronger than ever. It's like we have come through the end of the tunnel, nothing can destroy us now." She said she still struggled with the memories of the attack, saying, "I can't open the front door still, sometimes I just don't bother going to the door and wait for the slip if it's a postman. Andreas is fine. He just opens the door wide open." The dad will continue needing surgeries to treat his badly scarred face, most recently traveling to the US for a procedure on his eyelids funded by Face Forward. Andreas has become a vocal campaigner against acid attacks, saying wishy-washy legislation needed to be improved to send a clear message to people even considering picking up acid. And it and #27s legislation change that Andreas is determined to see through, having seen the devastating effects on himself and his family firsthand. He said his family had been told he was unlikely to have made it through the night. "I would rather have been shot or stabbed, no doubt about it. If you recovered from that, you would have a little scar you could move on. I will wear these scars till the day I die. There's no miracle cure." Face Forward CEO Deborah Alessi warned the physical scars could often rob people of their confidence, making it even harder for them to recover from their injuries. Ms. Alessi said the charity had seen a growth in the number of people they needed to support after acid attacks in the UK. She said, "What can happen after an acid attack is the mental abuse. People don't believe in themselves. Every time they look in the mirror they are reminded of the past. When someone needs to go forward, it's so difficult to say I look good today. People live with how they look every single day." Face Forward helps people who have suffered traumatic and severe physical abuse, with Ms. Alessi saying more needed to be done to educate teens as to the dangers of acid. Email us at tips. You can WhatsApp us on 07810791502. We pay for videos too. Click here to upload yours.